Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon. You know who I am, and it's time for another video game review. This time I'm reviewing WWF Attitude. There's the manual, there's the case with the game in it. Now, WWF Attitude would be the last game Acclaim did for WWF. Now, of course, a little bit of history. Acclaim's first game for WWF was WWF WrestleMania back in 1989. Now, Acclaim would go on to do the two ECW games. WWF would go on to work with THQ till, well, THQ went bankrupt. Now, WWF Attitude came out on the Game Boy Color, Nintendo 64, PlayStation, and Dreamcast back in 1999. Now, as far as for the gameplay for this game, it's pretty much exactly like Warzone was. Really not much changed since then. Now, major differences that did change were the following. Challenge mode was replaced with career mode, which allowed a player to wrestle as a WWF superstar. The player first starts wrestling on house shows, you know, NXT, what would it be now, winning matches to work up their way to Raw, then pay-per-view events, and eventually going opportunities for the European, Intercontinental, and WWF Championship titles. By the way, if you picked a hardcore wrestler, the hardcore title would take the place of the European title, and if you created a female wrestler, you would go for the WWE Women's Championship. Now, of course, there was also create a stable mode and a pay-per-view mode as well, which would let you create your own pay-per-view mode as well. You would also be able to create your own arenas to a certain extent, and also had new match types as well, First Blood and I Quit, and many others. Now, the Creative Wrestler mode was expanded with original entrance music as well as superstar nicknames with unique commentating and crowd change for each name. Now, this time commentating was done by Jerry the King Lawler and Shane McMahon. Ain't that a surprise? And unlike Warzone, they would actually talk throughout the whole match. Wrestlers also now had a set of pre-match taunts. Now, believe it or not, the Hardy Boys, they were not playable. The Hardy Boys provided the motion capture for the moves. There is an intro for the Owen Hart and the PlayStation 1 and the Nintendo 64. I do not know if it's in the Dreamcast. I cannot answer that. Now, this game has a long list of characters that made the Attitude Era. Who are they? Al Snow, Billy Gunn, Big Boss Man, Bradshaw, Christian, D'Lo Brown, Dr. Death, Steve Williams, Draws, Edge, Farouk, Gangrel, Godfather, Goldust, Triple H, Jeff Jarrett, Kane, Mankind, Mark Henry, Marsh, Owen Hart, Road Dogg, Shamrock, Blackman, Stone Cold, The Rock, Thrasher, Too Sexy Brian Christopher, Undertaker, Val Venus, and X-Pac. Now, there were also hidden characters you would be able to get through career mode. Taka Michinoku, Shawn Michaels, Sergeant Slaughter, Jacqueline, Chyna, Sable, Mark Marrow, Paul Bearer, and Jerry the King Lawler. Now, the controls really did not change from Warzone to this. So if you remember Warzone's controls, you'll do pretty well in this. It has 4 players, so if you have 4 PlayStation 3 controllers, like I do, or you still have a PlayStation 1, and you have the multi-tap, you're in for some very funny multiplayer fun. Now, this was the last game, like I said, WWF would do with Acclaim before going to THQ. And this is one of those, also the last one that would feature Owen Hart. That would be done by the WWF. Now, there's a lot of nostalgic for this game, because a lot of the wrestlers in it don't wrestle anymore. They either retired, or they don't wrestle in WWF, or they're dead. That's me putting it politely. They're either retired, working somewhere else, or dead. That's the best way to put it. Now, the controls, like I said, still work the same. Music sounds correct, and the announcing is not that bad. Graphically, yeah, for a game that came out in 1999, graphically, yeah, you don't want to mention graphics on this one. You don't. So just forget about the graphics, because if we talk about graphics, it ain't going to get a good score. By the way, it did have the tagline, "Get it," because that was the tagline WWF was using at the time. Now, of course, you would be career mode. I'm going to talk about that for a minute. You would, like I said earlier, you would start out working only house shows, moving on to Raw and eventual pay-per-views. Now, like I said, there is a King of the Ring mode. You can create your own pay-per-views, which is what Universe mode is now. A lot of superstars. Each wrestler has 4 different costumes. Now, how do I feel about it though? Well, it does have that nostalgic feeling, and the controls hold up very good. Graphically, not good though. But like I said, I got to give graphics a break. So, what do I give this? Well, I'm a big wrestling fan, as you guys know, and as you saw in my other 2 video game review videos, I felt like I gave them a good score. This one, I don't know. Maybe it's the nostalgic in me. Maybe it's because I have fond memories of this game. I give it a 4 out of 5. I would definitely recommend picking this up. I got it at MagFest for about $3. I don't know if the guy knew what he had or not. I mean, usually when you look for this, you're not going to pay $3. I can tell you that right now. I think I got lucky because I don't think the guy knew what he had, to be honest. I really don't. But hey, that's the way it goes sometimes. So now I can tell you, if you're looking for this on eBay or some others, I've seen it go for $10. Yeah, very interesting. Some I even seen, believe it or not, go for $45. I think it's because it's old as hell. That's the only reason I would think some idiot would charge it that much. That's for a new one. If you're looking for used, you can probably pick it up for $1. Now, Dev would recommend this one though out of all the wrestling ones I've said. This one and WWF WrestleMania, the arcade game, would be the 2 I recommend. Now, next time you see me when I do my video game reviews, I will be reviewing 3 Mortal Kombat games for the PlayStation 1. MK Trilogy, which featured characters from 1, 2, and 3. Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero. The game, I believe, gets a bum rap. And the other one, Mortal Kombat 4. All 3 were picked up at MagFest this year. How do I feel about them? Do they hold the test of time? Or do they fall? You have to tune in and see. Also, be on the lookout for my WWF Royal Rumble pay-per-view picks, which will be up tomorrow. My Super Bowl picks, which will also be up tomorrow. And keep a lookout for my Widewater Sports episode 10. I'm still doing some editing. I've been having a little bit of problems with that video. So until then, this is your boy, the DOUG, saying good night and have fun doing what we do. That's play video games. Woo!